to build into this, I'm really excited to tell you guys about this. So within, I'd say, the past week or two, I will browse, you know, YouTube and Reddit, and all of a sudden my entire feed just got flooded with this new game that you might have heard of called Palworld. And anyway,
here's Palworld.
Palworld, I got to set this up. So when I first heard about it, people were like, oh, it's a Pokemon knockoff. And then they were like, oh, it's a Pokemon knockoff, but it's more mature because there's guns. And then it was like, oh, it's a Pokemon knockoff, and it's more mature because it has guns. And it also is copying another game as well. And what other game is it copying?
Well, to me, it's like, especially, you know, once you really deep dive into what all this is, this game kind of feels like Minecraft meets Pokemon, because it's a game where you start out and you're you know, you're
creating a character.
You create a character and you start with nothing, and then you have to, you know, farm resources, you know, farm your wood, farm your stone, and it's basically like a lot of survival games. You know, if anybody has ever played like what was the
Rust? They mentioned Rust.
Rust was mentioned, but what's the Valheim? Was that?
Valheim was another one. It's the survival.
Survival. So you know, like you do a lot of crafting, and then you build a base, and then you go and with balls, just like in Pokemon, you collect these pals, and they basically can help you build stuff, and eventually you can do farming, not unlike Minecraft. But then your pals, your Pokemon, will help you. You know, and here's the look: you can just straight up beat these pals, Pokemon,
you can kill them. And apparently you can eat them too. It's like I said, it's like when I first heard this, I was actually like, what's the rating on this game? It was a little tricky to find because like Pokemon obviously is like for kids, or at least the rating is kids. I'm pretty sure this was rated teen. So in like movie lingo, this would be like a PG-13 game. Not like, a rated R game, so
you can you can download this game now. It's in beta on Steam, but it may not ever make it to its alpha version.
There's some controversies.
Nintendo has heard about a lot of this, of course, and they may soon. We'll get to that article in just a second. I just want everybody to see.
I mean, look at this. This little guy right here looks like they took Eevee and
it's like Eevee and Charmander and combined it in one. And like,
so many.
I was just saying, I like how like you can just pick up the Pokemon and use its like a flamethrower. You know, like basically just using it as a direct weapon. But like I don't know, when it shows the Pokemon, or sorry, the pals like making the guns in that factory, they all look so sad.
Yeah, and look, that looks like Electabuzz. You know, that looks like Eevee, but you know, with blue. Like a lot of these, like really look like straight up ripoffs.
Oh, and then you're using your PAL deck instead of Pokedeck to you know, like learn about everything. They have refused any likeness to Pokemon. They're like, oh, it's just a coincidence. We hired a guy a few years ago. It was an undergraduate that just designed everything. I call bullcrap. Yeah, maybe you had a guy design these things that kind of looks like Pokemon, but in your game, you've devised a system where you catch them with balls, and it's obvious. It's so obvious what they're doing here. PAL deck? I mean, come on.
It's Pokemon.
They're not going to get away with this. Nintendo has seen a lot of this, and they are deciding how to go about legal action.
Well, I think, yeah, it seems like they're considering suing them.